let's talk about skincare advice that you have been told and maybe even believe, but that's actually false, and it's holding you back from getting the results that you want from skincare. I'm Harper, board certified nurse practitioner, founder of Barefaced, and today I'm breaking down 10 myths that so many people still believe and that's holding you back from getting results. So let's get into it. Number 1, if there's SPF in your makeup, it is enough for your SPF. No, you still need your base of SPF. So that's like the biggest myth, and it does not replace your SPF. I have not put on my SPF yet. I recommend 2 finger lengths of SPF, full face, and make sure you don't forget the eyelids. Make sure all around the eye area. These are areas that are just so prone to aging that are so commonly neglected. And then same thing with your neck and the back of hands. So you would have to use a full teaspoon of makeup to actually get enough coverage for SPF, and like that would look absurd. That would be insane. And so think of makeup with SPF in it as an added bonus. Another tip, that when you are applying your sunscreen, you want your sunscreen to sit for about 10 minutes at least, sometimes like 10 to 15, to really set in, because it's your shield. So right now, after I do this, I'm gonna let it sit for 15 minutes and then I'll apply my makeup. But it does not, my makeup does have SPF in it, but it's not a replacement. And if there's one thing I can recommend that you do, it's wear a daily SPF if you wanna have healthy skin. 90% of skin aging is caused from the sun. And not only just from dark spots, fine lines, wrinkles, just the DNA damage that sun damage causes is so intense that if you can protect your skin, you're gonna have better skin and probably need less makeup. And before we jump into number 2, I'm just gonna acknowledge the elephant in the room. This is my makeup bag, okay? But I'm a trustworthy person. I just travel a lot, and I just broke it down, and here I am with a Ziploc for a makeup bag inside of another bag. Okay, so I'm gonna continue to do my makeup while we break down myths. Myth number 2, oily skin does not need moisturizer. This is so false, and actually skipping moisturizer can lead to more oil production. So you still need moisturizer even if your skin is oily. The key here is choosing the right one. And I would say if you have oily skin, just get a lightweight one. Ours at Barefaced is a lightweight. It's intensely hydrating, but it's lightweight, non-comedogenic. People love the comedogenic scale, which whatever, we'll break that down another day. But yes, you don't want to skip hydration. Your skin still needs it and will still benefit from it. So the key is just choosing one that your skin likes. You do not need a heavy one. A lightweight one will do the job. Number 3, and I honestly hope that this myth is like kind of dying. I feel like it kind of is, but I do think that some people still believe it. More products equal better skin. That is simply not true. And honestly, like the more products that you use, the more risk you are for sensitivity, irritation, and truly, I think that's why we have so many skin issues now. 1, people are trying to pick out skincare products and they have no understanding of their skin, and why would you? Like, it's an organ. And then they're using way too many products, which is causing sensitivity, irritation, breakouts, barrier damage. It just, list goes on. So if this is honestly like why I created Barefaced, it's all around the concept less but better. And the key is really using core 4 products to get your skin functioning optimally, and then building your routine from there. You really just you need such a bare minimum, but you just need things that are actually gonna transform the skin. I do this every day. Where is my bronzer? Yeah, it's at the bottom. Myth number 4 is eye creams are a scam. Okay, so this is like partly true, but it's also still a myth, because eye creams are not a scam. The problem is that they're just marketed in a way that makes you think you're gonna get a different result than you're gonna get. And it's not that the eye creams are a scam, it's that the marketing is a scam. And it's honestly very unfortunate, because eye creams are beneficial. I still think that you always start with the core 4, you build your routine, and eye cream is maybe the second to last thing you invest in. However, they're still very helpful at targeting concerns around the eye. They just don't do what an office treatment does. So they're not a scam, but they need to be we need just the marketing to become more ethical, to be honest. It just is not right. And if we were just real about what eye creams were, and when I say we, I mean brands, if brands were just a little bit more transparent about what you can expect from an eye cream, you would like have a realistic expectation of what you can get. And think of an eye cream as more like preventative and not as much corrective. And then you think of your office treatments as corrective. I have a full video on like how to treat eyes, office treatments, kind of phasing from skincare to office treatments. It goes into a lot of detail. If your eye area is like an area that you're really like bothered by, watch it because it'll give you tips on what to ask for, even if you're going in office. You really want to, I mean, if you can tolerate most of your products around your eye, I highly recommend, because you need an antioxidant, you need a retinoid, you need an SPF, and then your eye cream is just like icing on the cake. So they're not a scam, but they do need to be marketed better. Myth number 5 is natural is better and everything that's a chemical is bad. This is honestly so insane and it drives me crazy because truly everything is a chemical, water is a chemical, and it's all about formulation, dosing, and a lot of these chemicals are actually a lot more tested, a lot safer, and a lot of these like chemicals that people are afraid of are actually so much safer than like a DIY, which is going to probably grow bacteria because it has no preservatives. And it's just a myth that, and fear mongering, that is so frustrating because it really does confuse people in this space, and it's just, you don't have to be afraid. Truly, like, I do believe most brands are like, they're trying to do the right thing. They're formulating efficaciously. I know for Barefaced, like, we are following what like the EU says. And when you hear that like, oh, America has 1,600 ingredients that are not banned, well, like, we're not using those in skincare anyways. And a brand that is, like, they're gonna be called out so quickly. So I just don't think it's something to be so afraid of. I mean, be aware, and especially if you have sensitivities, but chemicals are not bad and natural is not always better. Okay, myth number 6, retinoids thin the skin. This is another just like one that irks me because this one trends a lot. And retinoids actually thicken the deeper layer of the skin, the dermal layer, and this is the area that you want thicker, that actually gets thinner over time as we age. It's so important to use, and outside of sunscreen, retinoids are the single best anti-aging product you can use. So just don't listen to that. It's not true, and you want a thicker dermal layer. It boosts your cellular turnover, helps with your collagen production. Don't hesitate to add it to your routine. I would say the biggest thing with retinoids is using one that your skin can tolerate consistently. And this is why we have a retinol skin therapy. It's less potent than a tretinoin, but it's an estimated 20 times more potent and efficacious than a retinol. And it's so much better tolerated. And the key with retinoids is using one that you can tolerate consistently without chronic inflammation and irritation to the skin. Yes, there's some temporary dryness, but that should subside after 6 weeks. And you can start with the rule of 3s. You start your retinoid once for 1 month, you use it every 3rd night. The 2nd month, use it every other night. And the 3rd month, use it every night. This is like a really nice way to ease into retinoids, but the best retinoid is one you can tolerate nightly, and it will not thin your skin. Number 7, you need to detox your skin, or you need to switch up your products to see results. Like, you need to switch them up every so often. Honestly, this is what causes so much irritation on the skin. The skin cell cycle is around 6 weeks, and it takes 6 to 12 weeks to really start seeing results. If you are consistently changing up your products, like, you're never gonna see results. And if you're doing this every, 3 to 6 months, you are, 1, gonna be extremely frustrated with skincare, and 2, you're never gonna get that benefit because you're never gonna see those long-term results that skincare actually does. And skincare is the long game. It's like a workout for your skin. So it takes about 6 weeks to get in shape, get back in shape. Same thing goes with your skin. And depending on the damage and like the concerns that you're trying to treat, 6 weeks is just like getting going. So the key with skincare is not switching it up. It's using products consistently over time that really yields results. And honestly, that's a relief, right? Like, to not have to switch it up is so much better. Like, it's one less thing you have to think about. You get a routine that works for your skin and you just keep doing it. And then you just go on living life. Number 8 is that you can shrink your pores. Unfortunately, you cannot. However, it's not all hope is lost, okay? You can minimize the appearance temporarily. You can do this with exfoliation. You can also do this. So I love our toning pads for this, because not only are they gonna remove the dead, dull skin cells off the surface, they're gonna help wash out the pores, which is gonna remove some of that excess oil. Oil can and will make your pores look larger. So controlling that oil will help minimize the appearance, but you can't just like change the size. Another ingredient I like to do this is caffeine. I love our Overachiever for this, our hydrating lotion, because they're gonna help tighten up and firm the skin. But again, all this is temporary. And then the 3rd thing I like to temporarily minimize the appearance of the pores is Clean Slate Spritz. So we formulated a 3-in-1 hypochlorous mist. So it has hypochlorous acid, which helps strengthen it and which helps strengthen the skin barrier, and it also has minerals, and that helps with oil control. And it's so cool. So when we did the clinical studies, I'll show them here, but it showed, I expected it to show like redness reduction, because typically in like, you know, congestion reduction, because that's what hypochlorous does, but the added minerals and the added hydration showed the reduction of pore size in the appearance, and that was very, very cool to see because of that oil regulation. So you can't shrink the pores, but you can minimize the appearance. Okay, 9, and let's see if I can do this while I curl my eyelashes, because I mean, I'll be impressed with myself. Okay, 9 is you should not use retinoids and exfoliants together. Okay, this one has a little bit of truth, I will say, but I think it's more of like a misunderstanding, not so much a myth. You absolutely can, but it does take a little bit of an adjustment. So what I think, when you are starting a routine, like, you've got to get your skin adjusted to these products. Once you are adjusted, you can add in an exfoliant when you're using your retinoid at the same time, and it actually is more effective. But think of it like strength training for the skin. Like, first let your skin tolerate these products and then start adding them together. And so the same thing applies with vitamin C and retinoids. This is just like a little bonus myth that you're gonna get in here. You can use vitamin C and retinoids together. The reason why is not because of that they deactivate each other. That's not true. The reason why people say that is because it increases sensitivity and irritation on the skin if your skin does not tolerate vitamin C and retinoids by themselves. So you absolutely can. And again, you're gonna actually get a better result when you incorporate vitamin C with your retinoid and an exfoliant with your retinoid, but gradually ease into it, because what I find is people stop using their products when they have any type of reaction. So I like to gradually introduce products to your routine, especially ones with actives like exfoliants, retinoids, vitamin C, so that way you consistently use them. And if you're a person that like jumps around with skincare a lot, just like start using your products, a new product, just 3 times a week. You don't have to go all in. If you are worried about like side effects like dryness, sensitivity, even purging. 1 in 4 people experience purging. And so that's very normal. And it's just bringing out what was gonna come out anyways. Just like ease into it. This is where I love like the expert-led guidance. And so at Bareface, as a nurse practitioner, I've treated thousands of patients. I love walking people through that process. So like, if you are not sure how to use your products or how to like incorporate products to your routine, just shoot us a DM, an email. Like, we're happy to kind of handhold you through that. And I think that's why we have so many positive reviews, because people are seeing results from the skincare that they're using, and you only see results when you consistently use your products in the right way. Number 10, and this is honestly one of my favorite ones to debunk. I'm a mom of 4 kids, and so I've dealt with skincare during pregnancy like for quite a while, and then breastfeeding. This is such a myth, and I'm so excited to debunk it. You cannot use retinoids when you are breastfeeding. You can. And it is such a good thing to like reintroduce. The only thing I say, and no one's ever gonna do this, like, you wouldn't put retinoids like on your breasts and like if you're breastfeeding, but like you can put them on your face. You can take care of yourself. The reason why you don't use them during pregnancy is like for the developing fetus, and truly that's even out of an abundance of caution. That's based on Accutane, which is an oral, or isotretinoin, which is an oral medication that is used for acne. Retinoids are not penetrating into the bloodstream, but it's out of an abundance of caution that we just recommend, hey, you're pregnant, skip it. When you're breastfeeding, you are more than welcome to introduce that back into your routine. And that's just a self-care moment that you can take for yourself. And so I hope you choose to do that. Always choosing one that your skin can tolerate consistently. And it's such a fun thing to like feel like you can start using that again, because like I mentioned earlier, retinoids outside of sunscreen are like the #1 thing you can use for your skin for long-term skin health. All right, that's it. Are there any other myths that you guys have questions on? Don't hesitate to drop them in the comments. The thing with skincare is like, it's not about trends, and it's not about just like doing what your friend's doing. It's about doing what's right for your skin. And it's, unfortunately, fear-mongering just gets a lot more press, and that's why people do it. But you're not gonna fall for that anymore. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Jordan. And if you want help building a simpler, more efficacious routine, Bareface is here for you. Questions, drop them below. See you next week.